Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all decided to join me today. Today we're going to do our 6th set of alternatives for the April 2026 paper pumpkin kit that was called Lakeside Retreat. And here are the 9 cards that you could have made had you done this kit as intended. These are very adorable cards, but we're going to change ours up a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. And as I'm pulling out the stuff to do our first card, if I could ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really like it if you would consider doing so and joining us around here and leave me a comment. And I would love to communicate back and forth with you. And don't forget to hit that like button while you're at it. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. We've got a card base here of some kind of gray. What is this called? I am drawing a complete blank on the color of this card. Isn't that just hysterical? Not really. Let's go with gray granite, I think it is. All right. 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're going to give this a nice burnish with our bone folder and get that to lay down nice and flat. We are going to turn it this way. We're going to do a landscape card. I've got a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4. We have a piece of half of one of the card bases, and I've cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to be our first layer. And then we've got, this was a punch out little scene that came in the kit. We're going to use that. And we're going to use this little piece here. It also came in the kit. See if I can remember how I wanted to do this. I think we're going to put that there and put our little scene here so that it has kind of something to rest on there, because we don't want our scene just floating around. So I think we're going to do, I don't know, I can't decide how I want to do this now. It's been so long since I've designed the card, I've done forgot what I intended to do with it. I think we're going to do that, right, like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our wood grain piece down here. And we'll just really quickly get some glue on this. We're just going to center this up in the middle of our card base here. So kind of like this. And we're just going to give that a good press once I decide that we've got it where we want it. That looks pretty good. So we're going to press it down. Then this is going to be the next piece. We're going to put this down. And we're going to just kind of center this right here in the middle. So like that. All right. Now this piece is going to go here. Before we put this down, though, we're going to stamp on this. So we are going to put this to the side. We are going to stamp in. I'm going to use the little Stampin' Spot that came in the kit. It's Peaceful Pine, and this is one of the new in colors. And I don't have the full-blown pad of this yet. So we're going to use this. And we are going to use Thanks on the outside. And we're just going to put that right down here in our sand. And on the inside, we're going to use You're a Lifesaver. And those both were stamps that came in the kit. So I'm just going to open up our little Stampin' Spot here. And when you use these little Stampin' Spots, instead of putting the stamp into the ink, it's a lot easier to flip your stamp over and just use your Stampin' Spot to pounce around on your stamp. Okay, these are also a lot easier to get your fingers in because I've already done that already today. Okay, so we're going to line this up here. So I'm going to hopefully start with this straight. And I'm just going to put our thanks right down here on the shore of our beach. So just like that. And this is going to go here. And then on our inside piece, we're going to do You're a Lifesaver. So let's ink this up. Okay, and we're going line this up here. And we'll get this down. Just like that. Okay, you're a lifesaver. Perfect. I'm going to cover our ink back up just momentarily because we're going to use that again here. So let's get this down on the outside. So we're going to go just like this. And we're just going to kind of center this up. All right. And then we'll get this on the inside. Alright, and we'll put some bling on the outside, and we will be done with this one. So this came together relatively quickly. Alright, the bling that we are going to use is some of this old earth tone shimmer gems that I've had around for a while. And we're going to use the green ones. Let me see what we can do here. So let's see where. I think we'll put one right there. And we'll get a little one to put right here. And another little one to put right down there. And there is our very cute thank you card. Alright, let's move on to our second one. So for our second one, we are going to start with a card base of Peaceful Pine, which again is one of the new in colors. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to give this a nice burnish. We're also going to make this a landscape card. We've got a piece of Very Vanilla that's 4 by 5 1/4. I've got two pieces of Very Vanilla that are 4 by 5 1/4. One for the inside, and one is going to be our first layer here on the outside. So let's get that down. So we're going to center this up, just like that. Okay, now, next layer is going to be this piece here that I believe was one of the card bases. This is 2.5 by 5 1/4. We're going to put that across here. So we're going to center that up right along here, just like that. Let's see if we can move that just a smidge to the north. There we go. All right, next piece we've got a little bicycle here that came in the kit. This little sentiment strip. Okay, and we're going to put from the add-on dies for this quarter. I cut this Wonderful out of Peaceful Pine. So let's see, here's what I want to do. I want to put this piece down. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on here. We're going to put this centered at the very bottom, so almost to the very bottom of our plaid piece. We're going to leave just the littlest bit of border down there at the bottom. Our Wonderful is going to go in here, so like this. So let's go ahead and just this tiniest bit of glue we're going to use here to kind of get across here. We don't want too much, so I'm just going to try to hit the highlights here without getting glue everywhere, which sometimes is a lot easier said than done. Alright, so we're going to lay that down. Oh, we need to go to the right just a bit. We're too far to the left. Alright, let's see if that looks better. Okay, so that's not too bad. We're gonna go with that. Our bicycle is going to go right up here on the top. I think I want to kind of pop it up on some dimensionals. And then, so we're just going to put just a couple on here, just to kind of give it a little bit of height. And And then I've got a couple of these flowers here that I thought we could use. These were from an old paper pumpkin kit from a couple of months ago. And these lonely little flowers were laying on my desk, and I thought, no better than the present to use them up, right? So we're going to give our card just a little bit of color, a splash of color, as they would say. All right, so we're going to put our bicycle right here. So kind of centered there, like that. We're going to little flowers down here, and then we're going to do just a little bit of stamping right here. Let me get our flowers down. Let's see which way looks like that ought to be somewhat the right way. I'm not sure there's a right way or wrong way with the flowers, but we're going to do them just like that. Oops. Stay. Now, if I wanted it to move, it wouldn't move. But if I don't want it to move, it's going to slide all over the place. Okay. Now, we're going to take from an old stamp set called Everyday Greetings. We're going to use this friend right here. And we're going to stamp that right here on our card. And then on the inside, we're going to do Thinking of You. And I'm going to use our same Peaceful Pine ink. So let's see here. Where's my friend stamp? I got it out. Now the question of the day is, well, here it is. What did I do with it? I need one of these blocks that we used before. So let me block up our friend here. Let's see. I'm going to try to line this up and start with it somewhat straight. Okay, now let's get our ink on it. Just making sure that I've got it covered all the way. Okay. And then we are going to put our little friend right down here underneath of our wonderful. Hopefully that's straight. If not, we will forever live with it, right? Okay. That's pretty good. Now, on the inside now, let's get our Thinking of You with some ink on it. Once again, I'm just trying to make sure that I've got the stamp completely covered in all of its places. I think that looks relatively good, I hope. All right, let's flip this over here and line this up, and we will get this down. I'm just going to let that soak in for just a second. There we go. All right, I'll put the lid back on the ink. And we will get this on the inside and bling on the outside, and we will be done. So both of these cards came together relatively quickly, which is good, because even though today is Thursday, it's really my Friday, and I am ready to start the weekend. Unfortunately, I have to take my dog to the vet first before I can start the weekend, so that's where I'm headed to right after this. Okay, so let's get our little gems back out here, our earth tone shimmer gems, and we are once again going to use the green ones. So let's see. I don't know, maybe we won't use the green ones. Maybe we could just, I just had a thought. Okay, let's just see what these white or these cream color ones look like if we put them in the middle of our flowers. Just like this. Just gives the center of our flower just a little bit of sparkle. I think we'll go with that. All right, cool. So here are our 2 cards that we made today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And even though today's my Friday, I will be back tomorrow with Fun Full Friday. And so I hope to see you all back then. Have a crafty evening. Bye.